Good morning from Utah, Hatch, Utah. Came out here yesterday, and today we're headed over to Bryce Canyon National Park. We're going to do the Under Ridge Trail, 23 miles. We're going to do it over the course of 3 days. The last day's got to be short because I got to get back to the airport. So 2 full days and then a short day. We are at Bryce Zion Inn in Hatch, Utah, headed over to Bryce Canyon National Park. We'll see you there. Alright, at Bryce Canyon National Park, Bryce Point. We got about 10.5 miles to do today to get to the campsite at Right Fork Canyon, Swamp Canyon. We're going to be headed out here in just a moment. Show you some views from up here. It's about 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we're going to get started. Here we go. Alright, so we started down. Some of the views already. Mr. Brown. We're taking the Under the Rim Trail to Rainbow Point. 22.3 miles that way. Alright, we stopped at a pretty good overlook. Absolutely breathtaking. Here's some hoodoos. These little formations with the rock on top of them. The rock has prevented weathering of the tower in which they stand on. They're pretty cool, but it's pretty stunning out here. The views, as far as you can see. So we're getting down towards the bottom. A little more vegetation, a little bit flatter trail. We come across Yellow Creek. There's Yellow Creek. We're going to be following this for a while. So when we get down towards our campsite, we'll get some water out of it. Like I said, the trail's getting flatter. And it's dry. It's really dry out here. No humidity. A lot of pine. But it's still a pretty cool trail. It's pretty cool. Just cutting through, Mr. Cow. Don't mind me, Mr. Cow. Okay, goodbye.
We get some milk?
You can. Still trekking along here, and it's definitely a different park down here on the bottom. It's hot, it's dry, very dry. It's still pretty nice looking. You get these views of the mountains around. So we're about 5.5 miles in. 5.2 out of our 10.5 mile hike. So, whoo-wee. It's tough though. It's tough. Alright, we'll have some lunch. Well, took another break. It's only been a little over a mile and a half since my last break. There's some pretty good ups. It's so dry, so hot, and some uneven terrain. But I'm gonna get back on it. About 4 miles to go. before we get to the campsite and staying at tonight. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. This one you gotta earn. You gotta earn it. A point I climbed up onto. Panoramic views all the way around. Look how the trail just goes along right on the edge of a major drop-off. It's been like this for about a half mile now. It's pretty cool. There's my view. Not a bad view. Not a bad view at all. We got a tiny bit of ridge running right here. So you got one side down trail, other side down. Taking another break. It's only been like 45 minutes, but I'm telling you, this is tough. But so I'm gonna take a short break here and get back on it. I want to show you this pine tree. This pine tree died. Look how scary that thing looks. It's something out of a spook movie. Alright, well, I'm climbing another ridge. So about 2 miles to go to our campsite tonight. It's already 5 o'clock mountain time. So we're gonna keep pushing, but I'm tired. Anyways, I thought it was neat right here. This boulder laying on the side of the trail. In the middle of it, here it's just like solid. Over here it's like solid. But in the middle of it, it's got all these pebble rock. And the only way to make pebble rock is if it was beat up in the water in a river for centuries. So at some point, these pebbles were at the bottom of a creek or a river. And now they're 8,500 feet above sea level in the middle of Utah. So that's been interesting. Alright, so I made it up and over to the next ridge, and now I'm walking in sugar sand. Look at this. It's like I'm at the beach. But I made it up and over to the next ridge, and the views on this side are equally stunning. Look at that. That's a big hoodoo right there, but absolutely stunning. Alright, hallelujah. Made it to Sheep Creek, which is where we were going to stay tonight, but they said there's bear activity, so it's closed. But Sheep Creek campsite is that way, 0.6 miles. Sheep Creek itself, already passed it, it's back there. It's as dry as a bone, so there's no water in that. Up here's a sign, tells us what's happening here. Sheep Creek connecting trail, that way. That'll actually take you out that way, and then under the rim trail that way, and back that way to the left. The old signs laying here, you got rim trail, rim up that way, which is also Sheep Creek connecting trail, and then under the rim trail, Bryce, the way we just came from, 9.5 miles. I did 9.5 miles right now at this point. And to continue on the rainbow, which is what we're going to do, is 13.1 miles. But we're breaking that up in 2 days. So 13.1 miles that way. It's kind of exciting to actually come to a point that you know is a point. We got about 1 mile to our campsite. Hopefully find water, because I'm pretty much out. And so we'll see you at the campsite. Well,
There it is. Right Fork Swamp Canyon campsite. There's the trail, continues on. It doesn't look promising for water to be here in the least. So I think it's like 1.4 more miles to Swamp Canyon campsite, and it does have water. When my hiking partner gets here, we're going to contemplate on what we're going to do. I'm going to look around a little bit for water and get this pack off. But I got one 16-ounce bottle of water left, and I still got to cook my food, which needs water. Ain't going to work. Straight up, ain't going to work. So something's going to have to give. Anyways, I'm going to look around. I'll let you know. We'll see. Alright, so haven't had any luck finding water. Let's get my pack back on. We're going to keep going. Next campsite is 1.4 miles. It's 7 o'clock at night. Next campsite is supposed to have water between here and it. So we're going to hike till we find water, and we're going to camp there, wherever there is. And so we abandoned Right Fork Swamp Canyon campsite, and we're headed towards Swamp Canyon. If there's no water between here and Swamp Canyon, there's a connecting trail that runs back up to the road at Swamp Canyon, and it's 0.9 miles. So if we don't find water between here and there, we're gonna bail. You see a smile on my face? Look at that. Water. Do you see it? That's water. Alright, as you can see, I'm still hiking. Got my backpack on. The water is right over there. But we're only like a half mile to the next campsite. And as long as the water stays with us, we're going to go to the next campsite. Only because, I mean, there's really not a lot of places to set up a tent out here unless you put it on these logs. Well, it appears the water's peeling away from the trail, so we're going to make a call and do it here. But look at this. Look at this view right here. I'm going to wake up to that in the morning. There's not a lot of flat spots. I got a pretty small tent, so I'm going to put my tent right here on this little plateau. And my buddy's going to have to put his tent either over there on that little plateau or right in the middle of the trail. So it's a good little spot here. That's the creek. I already ate. It's 9:20. About another 10 minutes, I'm going to hit the sack, and I will sleep good tonight. So, 12.5 miles a day in a desert setting, 100 degrees, up and down hills. Woo! Beat. 9:55, and I'm ready to sleep. So, that's it. That's the day. Like I said, 12.5 miles. Grueling. I am exhausted. So it's 9:55 now. I'll be asleep probably by 10 o'clock. So we'll see you in the morning.